sue the government against wrongful detention?
I think it should.
Absolutely.
I think it should.
Well, the Nigerian context, the more you look, the less you see sometimes. Because what I was told this morning was that the legal team of the NDLEA were in a marathon discussion on the next thing to do, probably trying to appeal the decision of the lower court that says Baba Suwe should be released. So, pending the time of their appeal, we'll cross our fingers and see what happens. But now Baba Suwe is at home, trying to get some medical attention, according to his son, Shola Omidina.
Wow.
So, what do you get, God, before we get our first guest to come? Rebecca.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
What's going on in your world?
Oh, my. I have so much to talk about today. Unfortunately, we wouldn't have that much time. But I have wonderful, great people in the industry who are coming on the show today. Just to name a few, like Rosemary said earlier, we have Van Vika coming on the show. We have Uche Monye coming on the show. He's also a famous Nollywood actor as well. We have Victor Olatoye, the president and CEO of Nollywood Film Critics Award. He's going to be here. We have Gollywood actor Akpoti. He's also going to be here. Director and producer Chuck Valentine is going to be here. Nollywood actress Mary Ellis is going to be here. So I'm really, really excited. We have such a wonderful lineup today.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be able to take every one of them.
Right.
Yes, well, I spoke to Van Vika today. He actually confirmed that he's going to be traveling between Ghana and Nigeria, and he will be able to make it as soon as he lands in Nigeria. He will be able to do the interview.
Wonderful.
So, like I said, we are fully ready. We also have a complaint by a doctor against the U-All. The lady will be here in the studio with us later today. Mm-hmm. We'll be able to talk to her and see how the situation can be redressed. I've called the U-All myself. Mm-hmm. They are not trying to work out any kind of deal with the lady, and U-All, I'm afraid U-All is clearly on the wrong side of the aisle. But I'm not going to make judgment. I'll let our listeners hear from the lady herself and see and make their own judgment.
Okay, you're talking about the U-Haul, the truck company, right? The
yes.
moving truck company?
Yes.
Okay.
So, but pending the time, we're going to get our own first visitor or our first guest. We will talk a little bit about the figures that we have. Rebecca, I understand that figures has changed.
Yes, absolutely.
What happened? Give us the latest.
Yes, sir. Especially looking back on the industry and really just taking a look at some of the things that has been going on in Nollywood. Unless you're really looking for the information, I guess you wouldn't. It doesn't pop out to you, and I don't know why. They should tell the world. Well, Nollywood, has changed from just a $250 million industry to a $800 million industry now, and it's really exciting to see how the industry is really growing. That's actually part of the questions I'm going to be asking these directors, producers, and Nollywood who's here that are going to be on the show today. So I'm very, very excited to really talk about, how the industry is going, what field is very has an open position, if I can even put it that way, that are looking for people, and how they're filling those positions up, and what they're doing to give back to the economy itself as well.
How do you think? Thousands of actors and actresses want to join the Nollywood and Gollywood from America here.
Right.
They want to be in the movie industry.
Right.
How do you think or what do you think can be done? I've even heard that some producers in Houston were charging money just for people to be in their movie. What do you think, or what do you hear about that?
I actually, I do not agree with that.
But did you hear something like that?
Right. I did hear about that as well. There was even a posting that I came across not even 2 days ago that was charging people to be placed in different movies, and it was a form that they had available on Facebook, and it was $300 for enrollment, and depending on what type of movie you wanted to be in or what star you wanted, it went up to $600. So you're paying to be in a movie. That doesn't make any sense to me. I think when it comes to cost, I think what Nollywood is lacking, majority of the people who want to join the Nollywood industry, is the Nollywood training, proper training in acting, proper training in cinematography, proper training when it comes to the technology aspect of the industry. And I think that's where we can come in, is to provide proper training. And since we already know those people who are already doing the work themselves, we can maybe even introduce them to their first couple of movies on set. But as far as money is concerned, I think when they're on set, they should be paid to do that. The only part that the actor, actress, cinematographer should have to pay for should be the training.
So how can we stop this?
Absolutely, we're just gonna have to put a thing together, put a project together where we can start providing that kind of service to Nollywood.
But people who are ready to act are ready to do anything, just like in the industry here, where you see a whole lot of will-be actresses being exploited by the promoter. The Nigerian or the Ghanaian movie industry is not up to that standard that people should be begging to act in movie. What do you think?
I agree.
Because I will never do that.
I agree. I absolutely agree. It definitely isn't up to the to the point where people have to pay. The industry has money. They're making money. $800 million converted to Naira or any other currency, close to Nigeria, is a lot of money. There is money in the industry, and honestly, I don't think that's a legitimate way to get someone into the industry. And that's the one part that I really I thought Nollywood is one of the industries where it's going to be difficult for someone to try to make it legal, but someone always finds a way. So to make it honest, industry. It's a business run by small business owners. From the person investing into the movie to the person actually making the movie to the person distributing the movie. They're all individual business owners. No government, help. No nothing. Everything is done. On personal investments and just business, proper business ethics. So I think, to make that business, this industry, this beautiful Nollywood industry, to help it flourish, there needs to be proper training facilities for people who really love the industry and would love to be a part of it and, willing to go through the proper way to get there.
I agree with you. And most of the in the issue of paying to be in a movie, which I thought was ridiculous. It seemed to be only peculiar to the actresses and actors here in the United States. I don't believe that in Nigeria you will actually go and pay a producer just because you want to be in the movie. I've heard situations where actresses will say to a producer, you know what, you don't even have to pay me, but I just want you to put my face out there.
Right.
That is like totally different from, you pay me some money and I'll put you in my movie.
Exactly.
I think that's ridiculous, and I think that needs to stop.
Absolutely. And, that's definitely one of the big points that I'm going to, put on the table in the discussion
Rebecca,
today with, the big boys in the industry.
In Nigeria, Rebecca, but you also, you had a lot of people sleeping with people before they give them a role. What do you think about that? Because they know that cannot happen here. I think that's why they're demanding money.
Right. I would say, Nollywood is about publicity. It's about your face on TV. It's about becoming a household name. It's about, being famous and all this other stuff that comes along, which naturally comes along with you being in Nollywood. But it happens in Hollywood too. But the only difference is Nollywood isn't as famous as Hollywood here. So the only other way to I guess get the same results would be to charge someone to be in a movie. I personally think if you don't have the finances to actually put a movie together, stop insulting the industry. Just don't put it out. Don't start the project. Wait till you get your funds. Stop. Because that's someone who doesn't know about Nollywood will assume that is how the industry functions.
That is so true. That is so true.
And we're trying to build a bigger name. We know there is money in it. The government isn't supporting the industry. There is no regulation. There is no training as far as technology is concerned. And we're trying to create, get investors involved, get investors interested, get investors to ask questions. And someone putting out such a message is definitely very negative. And that's not what Nollywood is about. We're proper business people. We do great research before we do what we do, and the big names in the industry will tell you that it takes a lot of work, takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, but in the end they get good results. So that's what Nollywood is about.
Right. I agree with you. And, I think that the situation boils down to the level of desperation where people just want to be out there and they take whatever is thrown their way. And hopefully when we'll be able to get together someday, put something together and let them know that this is totally insulting to the industry and that it needs to stop.
Absolutely. On a good note, on a beautiful note.
Right.
Rita Dominic, the Nollywood actress, she actually is producing her very first movie. And yes, ma'am, she's going to be joining the big league of powerful women in the industry like Uche Jumbo, Ini Edo, and Mammy Song. She has other actors and actresses in the movie, which includes Chidu Ikezi and Femi Jacobs, Kende Bankole. So it's really exciting to see that. I guess one of the big things that was on the internet this past week was redefining the image of women in the economy and society, period. And basically there was an article that was put out by it's actually a paper that was written for the University of it's Awolowo University.
Awolowo University in Ife.
Yes, Ife. And basically, they were asking a question, about the way women are viewed in society in Africa. Specifically, it was geared more towards Nollywood, so I would say specifically Nigeria. And basically, throughout the whole essay, they were talking about how Nollywood has now created an opportunity for people to see women differently. Usually women are, naked, barefoot, pregnant, cooking, has a child on the back, has a child on her head, on her shoulder or her arms, and walking in the street with a baggage on the head, So that's usually what the picture that comes to mind when talking about African women. And Nollywood is able to change that altogether. Dominic Rita is even a really good example. She's producing movies, not just acting. She's actually producing the movies now. And the film industry changes. Now women are independent, experts in trade, powerful business women, breadwinners in the family. So it also shows that the film industry does not only, put out movies, but they have the power to change the way people look at Africa.
That is so
that's
true.
another reason why I really appreciate Nollywood, and definitely gets me upset when we have this people on the side trying to charge people.
That's so true. I remember those days where when you want to go to school to read theater act, people look at you like, are you crazy? You're going to go learn how to make people laugh? You don't learn that. You stay at home. I mean, you were born with that. Why would you go to school to read theater act? They have totally changed the game, and it's a beautiful thing to see. And ladies and gentlemen, you are still listening to African Heritage Radio. Keep it locked, because we will be right back. It's 25 past the hour.
Some people they feel we know this song. My friends and friends them know they dog. Then we gon' make them to the top. Cause sorry don't matter if any man fool one. Oria, focus it. Check. Oria, focus it. Check. Oria, focus it. Focus it. Focus it. Check. Oria, focus it. Oria, focus it. Oria, focus it. Focus it. My kind of DJ, focus it. All the radio station, focus it. All the TV channel, focus it. All the bars and nightclubs, focus it. All the riders, focus it. Taxi and boat drivers, focus it. Press and CD sellers, focus it. Logo Nigeria, focus it. Check. Oria, focus it. Check. Oria, focus it. Check. Oria, focus it. Focus it. Focus it. Check. Oria, focus it. Oria, focus it. Oria, focus it. Oria, Ojina Kale.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome back to our program here on WNRI. This is Rosemary Omobilandio Show. I do have Timi Tokweyamu Show and, of course, the one and only Rebecca on the phone with us. You're welcome back to the program. You're listening to African Heritage Radio. We do have a personality that we'll be bringing forth to you. Is a popular and very successful Nollywood actor. The one and only Van Vicker is on the phone with us. How are you today? Hello, Van. Can you hear us?
Hi, I'm good.
Thanks for coming on our show.
Hello, Van. Can you speak a little bit louder?
Right. It's a pleasure.
Oh, okay. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. Thank you.
That is good. Rebecca, are you on?
I am. How are you, Ben? Great to have you on the show.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Okay, Rebecca, I'm going to allow you to lead since you are the Nollywood and Gollywood guru. I'm going to allow you to start firing your questions at Van.
Okay, absolutely. And I do apologize for the delay on the phone, Van. I know you're in Africa. That's why we're having this little phone difficulty here. But again, I really appreciate you joining us on the show. And basically, I'm going to ask you a few questions about the industry in general, and then we're going to go into some of the fun projects you're currently involved in. So let's get right down to business. So basically, we were talking earlier, a few minutes ago, Rosemary and Timmy Tuckberry, we were all talking about how there are a few producers out there trying to charge people to actually be in Nollywood movies or to act in Nollywood movies. What do you think about that, and how do you think that actually affects the industry as far as reputation, as far as encouraging other actors or actresses to want to choose Nollywood as their career path? What suggestions do you have about such acts in the industry?
The line is breaking. I heard bits and pieces of the question. Can you just ask the question again, please?
Yes. I'm sorry. My question is: we're experiencing here in the United States where a few producers and directors are beginning to charge actors and actresses to appear in their movies. And basically, I feel, I mean, this is a personal opinion on my part, that presents a negative picture for Nollywood, and that wouldn't be attractive for anyone to want to choose Nollywood as their career path. What do you think about that, and how do you think, if you think that that's something that's also negative, like how do you think people can avoid that, or what advice do you give actors looking to get into the industry?
Well, for me, I mean, I've heard this rumor before, and but I don't know if it is actually being practicalized. I don't know if people are actually paying them, to feature in someone's movie. But I've heard the rumor. For me personally, I don't think it's right. That's my personal view. I don't think it's cool at all. I mean, worst case, if you're trying to help somebody, to put them in a movie, the worst case you could do is say, hey, you know what, I'm trying to push you to be in this movie, but give and take, this is how little I can pay you, or this is how zero I cannot pay you.
Right.
But having the artist, on the other hand, paying the producer, I mean, for me, I think that is totally wrong.
Absolutely. And believe it or not, man, it's real. There was actually
hold on, Rebecca. Okay, go ahead, Van.
I'm saying. Then again, a few of the coming up artists seem to be a little desperate.
There you go.
And I think the producers tend to capitalize on their desperation and say, hey, if you want to be in the movie, then you have to pay me. So maybe the up-and-coming artists should stop being so desperate, in that terms, but rather, I mean, focus on the arts of what they can really do, because I believe that no matter what, once you are capable and you've got the talent and it is your destiny, I mean, nothing can hold it back.
Absolutely. Thank you. That was a great answer to that question, and I do agree with you. So ladies and gentlemen listening out there, Van Vickers definitely putting it down on this radio show to let you know that that's not the way Nollywood functions. We just have a few bad eggs in the industry it's a very accepting industry. We want professionals. We work professionally in the industry. So that's absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much. I have just one more question before we go into what you're doing as far as your own personal projects. As you already know, Nollywood is number 3 in the world when it comes to volume of movies produced. What would you say as a director, as an actor, what would you say is the biggest challenge when it comes to shooting a movie or making a movie in Nigeria or Ghana?
I think one of the biggest challenges we have has to do with equipment, because, it's been a while since we have been doing movies, and we are shooting on the HDs. Before we were shooting on videos, and then the HD cameras. Mm-hmm. We're still shooting on HDs. So, I think it's about time we moved forward, to start shooting on celluloid, shooting on the film. I think that's one of our biggest challenges, because until we start doing that, maybe we may not get that recognition that we have so been wanting. Because we are still shooting. Whatever Hollywood does, to see what we do as quote and unquote play in terms of the output, because they are like, okay. I've had a few friends in the film industry, out there, and they watched a few of our movies, and they are like, "Are you kidding me?" The thing is like just drama. Is like we're just kidding. Even though we know we're doing serious work here. So I think our biggest challenge is the equipment, because once we've got the right equipment, to project the kind of things that we do, then we will be very, very standard in the position to challenge, even Hollywood in terms of the movies that they make.
We have money.
Are doing really well, right?
Yeah. Right. We have money in the industry. The industry itself, according to newspapers, magazines, and articles on the internet, is now a $800 million industry. What would you say is the delay in the transitioning of the equipment or technology?
I may not be able to put my finger on it, but I think one reason would be it has to do with structure. Because it's like a lot of what we do are done by individuals, and everything stays on an individual level.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Right. I think it's about time the whole thing gets a proper structure and everything is properly organized, so we can actually see where the revenue is going. And then we know that, okay, if Mr. A, B, C, and D combine, their capital, instead of it being, say, $20,000, $40,000, 4 or 5 people combined, at least we're hitting the hundreds of thousands. And that way, with all these monies put together, budget will be high. They can get the right equipment, and then do a high, quote-unquote, high-class movie. Because once we keep it on an individual level, how much can one man have to produce a movie? I'm not saying not a single man is capable. Yes, there are individuals who are very capable. But I'm looking at Hollywood production houses, 20th Century, Fox, Universal. These are really huge companies who may be owned by an individual, I don't know. But these guys have huge sums of money, to make sure that their artists get paid well, and they use the most high-tech equipment to bring out what viewers want to see.
Right.
So I think, yes, a lot has to do with money, and then putting the structure together so that we can be able to combine ourselves as producers and not thinking as an individual.
Absolutely. I agree. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time answering those questions. Well, I'm pretty sure everybody wants to know what movies should we be looking out for? What are the big projects you're involved in currently?
Well, As to what movies to look out for, I'm not too certain which one to look out for because as of the time I did those movies, I did not know the titles of the movies.
Okay.
And even if I did, usually the titles get changed.
Okay.
So I cannot tell you look out for this or look out for that, until it comes out. But actually, I'm going to Nigeria tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to Bayelsa State. We're doing this huge movie there. It's an action movie. From what I hear, the crew and the equipment coming down from the UK.
Oh, wonderful.
So hopefully it should be a huge movie.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Van.
secondly, yeah.
Okay. What I really wanted to talk about a little bit is the transition that you guys should make, or you guys are trying to make, from being just a DVD movies into a cinema movie that can actually open the industry the way it used to be. You know, back in the days,
Right.
when CD is not in town, that is how movie producers were able to make a lot of money then. Everybody troops to the movie theaters and movie houses and watch it. But now, too much duplication of your job is out there that actors and producers are not really making a lot of money. That is number one. And number two, I was able to confirm myself that, I even spoke to the person that paid a producer in Houston, Texas, just to be in a movie. And this producer is a well-known producer. Shouldn't it be some kind of a body that we can report such a producer to? And number three, how can you filter the quality of movie that comes out of Nollywood, Gollywood? Because if we start chunking out movies that are past standard, that are not up to standard, nobody will take us serious internationally.
Right. Point number two about reporting a producer that engages in certain acts.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't know where you are if there's a body like that, but I'm sure in the case of Ghana and Nigeria, we have the Actors Guild. So obviously, the Actors Guild protects the interests of every actor. So once you're a registered artist, and then a producer asks you to pay, and you think, in your opinion, he's going out of his way or out of her way, yes, you have every right to report that producer to the Actors Guild and see what actions they take. Because I totally disagree that any artist should pay to feature in a particular movie. Point one. What was point one again?
Well, how will you revitalize the theater industry so that people can go and watch movie at a theater?
Right.
Because
Right. I don't know. Honestly, this is the point that beats me, because I remember before I even got into the industry, I remember really well that I used to see cinema houses, in and around town, people going to the cinemas. I went to a few myself back in the day. But then I don't know what happened to them. They just sort of like faded out around here. I don't really know what happened, but I think it was a good avenue for producers to make some money before it gets on CDs. Which is exactly what Hollywood does anyway. The movies go to the cinemas 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And that is what they use to determine how much the movie rakes in, not necessarily the DVD sale. So, as a producer, I really think, I've been thinking with a few people how the cinemas can get back. Down here, so far, Silverbird, they've got one theater, one theater in the mall. I think it's got like 3 or 4 theaters in there, I'm not sure. But yes, theaters will be the way forward, because that way, you don't need to rely on the DVDs because there are a lot of bootlegs on the market.
Exactly.
Right.
But as to how it will really happen, as to how the cinemas will really start coming up again, I don't have an answer to that.
Okay. I think my partner...
it goes beyond me.
Okay. My partner has a question to ask you. Go ahead, Rosemary.
Hi, Van. Hello, can you? Okay. My question will be, since we're talking about revitalizing the industry, would you take this back to the Actors Guild to let them know that, we, in addition to needing a body that we can report issues to, would you also take it back to let them know that these are situations that are going on? These are concerns of your fans all over the world who are worried about the way that you don't have cinemas where you can take movies to. That's actually taking money out of your pocket. Because when you go into when you have a movie out and you have a premiere and people go into the cinema to watch you, then you can pretty much monitor everything that's going on. There's a lot of copyrights out there. So our question now is, would you take that back to the meeting and let them know, look, we need to put a body together. We need to do something about this whole idea of piracy and really revitalizing the industry and having a premiere shows where people can actually spend their money to go into the movies to watch you, as opposed to somebody selling the bootleg copies on the street corners. Would you do that for us?
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
of course.
yeah.
I'm definitely going to do that. Because
You can even start that yourself, and we will support you.
You exactly. That could be a project that you can take on your own, and let us know what we can do from this end to garner support for you to put an end to that. Because Nollywood is a growing, Nollywood and Gollywood is a growing industry, and we are very, very impressed and happy about the way things are, about the level to which you people have taken it to right now. So we want to see you guys do big and get paid for the kind of work that you put out there, not other people making money off of you.
Right, and to even add to that, Rosemary,
Yes.
how about, maybe organizing like a think tank,
Exactly.
which includes all the who's who
Right.
in the Nollywood industry and really just sit down and put something on the table, put an actual process, an
Exactly.
actual, layout of how this is going to work out, because you're right, Van Vika, you can initiate this, but you do need the manpower. If
That's
you have
right.
powerful people behind you, then it'll actually go through. I really believe that.
Right. I was about to say that I recently just joined the Producers Association of Ghana.
Wow.
And yes, I'm sure once we have our meetings, these are things. I am not saying that these guys don't know about it. I'm sure they know about it, but maybe
It's just about doing something about it, right?
But I'm sure
Right.
if I get in there, during our meetings, I will find out
Okay.
as to why don't we have cinemas? Why can't we raise the funds
Right.
to create our own cinemas? And then maybe they'll give a really good reason as to why it doesn't work.
Okay.
And I'll get back to you. I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm saying maybe it's not happening because there's a really good reason which we don't know of because we are standing on the outside.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm not saying that's the case, though.
Okay.
Right. But once I go for these meetings, these are things that I will obviously bring up.
Okay, Van, thank you very much. And we're rounding up on the Van show. This has been Van show for the past 15 minutes.
Right, very quickly,
Van,
what
Van,
will go out and find you on?
hold on, Rebecca. Van, you are free to be our guest anytime you're in the United States, either on the radio or on the television. African Heritage Media has a radio, television, and newspaper that you can be our guest at any time. Rebecca, before your question, I only have 2 minutes. Cut it short, and Rosemary has another question. Go ahead, Rosemary.
Okay, Van, my question is this. You are one of Nollywood's finest. When do we get to see you on the international spectrum? Like, see you on a big screen. We want to see you not only in Nollywood, but in Hollywood. What are you doing to make that happen?
You guys should do that to make it happen for him. You just, I am very, very honest about it. You, Rosemary, you remember we went to New York to get in touch with the PDD of this world, and they are ready to work with our people. But when we call them, they don't come out.
And sometimes they don't pick up their phone.
This is an indictment on your own part too. When we call you to come and rough fiddle with the likes of PDD and stuff like that, please step up. They are not better than you guys. They just have the opportunity.
Seriously.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
So we can make it happen.
Well, I must say, I mean, I totally agree, but I must say that just yesterday, I got a call from someone, I'm not going to say who it is,
Okay.
but it has to do with a movie probably by Fox.
Okay.
So yeah, if I do get the deal, we're supposed to be closing that deal soon. If it works out, I'm supposed to show my show reel and all of that
Right.
to Fox.
Okay.
So once my agent forwards it to Fox and they like it, yeah, I think would affect it.
Okay. After the show, Van, we'll get in touch with your agent. We'll pass some numbers to your agent, and let's see what we can give to your agent. If your agent can follow up with those things, I think it's going to be beneficial. There are also some low-budget movie industry that is being done by African Americans here,
and they're good.
They are making a whole lot of money. They have the technology. They have everything. If you guys break through, you can beat some of their actors.
You can literally take over. Seriously, I'm telling you.
I don't watch a lot of movies, but the few that I've watched is good. But we need to improve on our storylines, and we need to cut down on the voodoo aspect of our industry.
Yeah.
So, Rebecca, I want you to round up because I have another guest knocking on my door now.
Absolutely. Van, please let us know where we can find you on the internet. Now Nigeria is going internet, is going on the web. So where can we find you? Where can we follow you? And, and keep in contact, keep in touch with everything that you're doing.
Well, my website is vanvicaworld.com.
vanvicaworld.com, listeners.
Vanvicaworld.com. Yes.
vanvicaworld.com.
Yes.
Okay.
My Facebook is Van Vica, but there are lots of Van Vicas up there. So
okay.
We can find you. Trust me, we can find you.
Yeah. Once you get on the Van Vica page,
yes,
you actually take your time and read the things on the wall. You know who's who out of all the Van Vicas.
Right.
And my fan page is J Van Vica, and my Twitter account is Van Vica 1.
Okay.
Right. Van Vica 1 without duplicate, right?
Yes. Any other one is a counterfeit.
Any other Van Vica is a counterfeit. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be ending the Van Vica show.
Right.
Until another time, we'll probably try to bring him back because I know some people will be calling our numbers now.
Of course.
And I've been receiving texts. They want to ask you questions, but we will give you your show, your 1 hour show, another day. All right?
Yeah, I'm hoping to be in the U.S. This November, end of the month.
Okay.
So hopefully we can do something when I...
That would be great. Let us know.
We'll do the back the door passing of numbers and stuff like that. Get in touch with us. We're going to put you on our TV program and people will see you. They'll be able to link the face with the voice.
Right.
Thank you very much, our listeners.
Right.
And this is...
Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes,
this is African Heritage Radio. My name is Timmy with Rosemary and Rebecca. And we will be bringing you an alliance
Thank you.
now.
Bye-bye. You're welcome back to our program. This is African Heritage Radio. If you're just joining us, we were speaking to the one and only Van Vica, all the way from Nigeria, Nollywood in Nigeria. Keep it locked. We'll be right back.
Them go proud of the name and put them slave name for heading of the soul. Color mentality now make you hear me now. It's a ransom, me make you hear. It's a Williams, me make you hear. It's a Aliyah, me make you hear. It's a Muhammad, me make you hear. It's a Anglican, me make you hear. It's a Bishop, me make you hear. It's a Catholic, me make you hear. It's a Muslim, me make you hear. The Africa we devil make you hear. The Africa we devil make you hear. Color mentality here. Color mentality here. It's a ransom, me make you hear. It's a ransom, me make you hear. The Africa we devil make you hear. The Africa we devil make you hear. Color mentality here. Color mentality here.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome back to our program here on African Heritage Radio, where we give in-depth analysis on African affairs. I do have Mr. Timmy Takpe with me in the studio. And of course, on the phone with us is our entertainment correspondent, Ms. Rebecca, who is on the phone.
Okay, we have a guest from Maryland. His name is Mr. Basil Oladapo. He's going to be joining us now. Did I get it right, Mr. Basil?
Mr. Basik.
Oh, Basik. Okay. Okay. I will tell you to introduce yourself and your organization. I know you're preparing for a very big event in Maryland on the 19th of this month. Please fire on Mr. Oladapo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Amushon. My name is Basik Oladapo. I'm the chairman of the Alliance of Yoruba Organizations and Clubs, USA. The Alliance has been in existence since 1996. And one of the activities that we undertake on yearly basis include award night, where we identify Yoruba people, Nigerian, and based on their achievement, based on their professional excellence, and also contribution back to our community, we recognize them and showcase them before the Maryland community and the world at large.
Okay. Can you tell us few of the people that you've shortlisted for the award?
One of them is the governor of Ondo State, Dr. Olusegun Mimiko. Also, Dr. Maurice Churemekun is a surgeon. He lives in Ohio. This and a few others, like also Junior Labanji, who's also a journalist with Channel 7. Dr. Mimiko is on this ABA childhood program. That is why we recognize him for giving that award. That is something we are proud of. We want to encourage him to do, and other governors in Nigeria and West Africa to follow suit, because this is a laudable program. Even the World Bank, I mean the world community already acknowledged that, where the mothers can deliver babies at a token fee, 200 naira.
Wow.
Yeah, so we really want to encourage.
And 200 naira is like how much in dollars? $200 is less than $2, right?
That's correct.
200 naira is less than $2. It's about $1.50.
$1.50 to bring the child to the world.
Wow.
And we're so impressed about this. One of our honorees, Dr. Oluremi Bukeju, also, he was part of the delegate that went to Nigeria and gave back his service to that community. So we're proud of what the governor of Ondo is doing.
You know what we're going to do? We probably will have to bring the Commissioner for Health in Ondo State, Dr. Adeyanju, because we met him in Maryland last year. He was the assistant, personal assistant to the governor on medical, on health.
Yeah.
And he delivered a speech in Maryland last year. The speech was on the BA project, and he is now the Commissioner for Health. And we learned that the world body actually gave Ondo State $65 million to help to help uplift the program, because the program was such a success. Yeah. And I don't know if that is over pampering or whatever, but Rosemary, my partner, has been to Ondo State to look at this project, and she reported back to us that this project is alive. We were even told that the government of Ondo State have to give cell phone to all these BA mothers, all the mothers in all the pregnant women in the rural area, so that they can just dial some kind of 911 as soon as there's any kind of emergency, either through the night or whatever. Even in an area that is not motorable, they send what they call kekenepap. That is a tricycle, or even bike to go and carry the pregnant woman into safety, where they will be able to be physically transported to a big hospital. Such a project is just something that we've never seen before among these looting governors. So, what do you have